What is Turiya and how is it related to the sleep of a normal person and realization of a person?
So the question is, what is Turiya? How is it related to sleep, deep sleep, what we go through? So this question is coming in the context of his master, his spiritual master, his Sadguru, who, when asked, what is his state? He said, I am in sleep. So people are wondering, he's talking and interacting with people and still is in sleep. How is it possible? Sri Ramana Maharshi also says something about sleep. He says, sleep is a state of ignorance, darkness for common people. Whereas for a Gnani, the sleep is a state of illumination and sleep itself is the reality. This is the Ramana Maharshi's words. So the way an ignorant person sees the sleep and the way a Gnani sees the sleep are very different. So what is this difference? There's a sloka in Bhagavad Gita, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam Tasyam Jagat Sayami. What is sleep for all the living beings? Is a state of waking for a Gnani. And what is waking state for all living beings is a sleep for Gnani. So now here, the sleep and waking, we can take it as sleep is a state of spiritual ignorance, not knowing who am I. And waking state, we can consider as knowledge of the self and the understanding of the world as unreal. So in a sense, the way of Gnani looking at the world and Adnani looking at the world, ignorant person looking at the world are different. So Gnani looking at the world, Gnani understands the world is unreal, mithya. And world is nothing but Brahman only, appearance of Brahman only. So for him, Gnani, the world is nothing but self only. I am the world. That's the understanding of Gnani. So that is a state of spiritual wakefulness, awakening. For an ignorant person, I am separate from the world, I am the Jiva, I am separate from the world is real, and Ishvara is real, Jiva, Jagat, Ishvara is the reality for an ignorant person. So Gnani calls that state of ignorant person as spiritual sleep. You are spiritually asleep. Okay. The sleep in Bhagavad Gita, Ya Nisha Sarva Bhutanam, can be taken as a spiritual sleep, where Jiva does not understand the reality of the world. Jiva thinks the world is real, Jagat Satya, Atma or Brahman, I don't know. Whereas Gnani says the world is real, world is Mithya, Brahman is Satya, I am Brahman, and world is also Brahman only. Entire universe is Brahman only. Brahma Satya, Jagan Mithya, and Sarvam Khalu is Brahma. This is the understanding of Gnani. So these are opposite. Spiritual sleep and spiritual awakening from sleep. So Gnani is in a state of awakening, awakened state, whereas the ignorant person is in a state of spiritual sleep. That's one way of saying. The other way of understanding this is an ignorant person in his waking state sees the world. And for him, the world is real, the Maya is real, and Atma is unreal. The self is unreal. Whereas for Gnani, the world what you see in the waking state of ignorant person is unreal. Jagat is Mithya. So they have opposite viewpoint. Very different viewpoint. Whereas for a common man, deep sleep is a state of darkness. Nothing is there. So for Gnani's point of view, deep sleep is a state of pure existence, pure awareness. It's a state of light. That's why Sri Ramana Maharshi says, deep sleep is a state of ignorance for a Gnani, ignorant man, and state of light for a Gnani. Why? Because an ignorant person goes through three different states: waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. For him, three states are real: waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. But for Gnani, three states are unreal. He doesn't go through any state. So an ignorant person goes through waking, dream, and deep sleep. Now, if you ask an ignorant person, he'll say, I went into sleep, I had a good dream, I had a good sleep, I woke up. So from a waker's point of view, he went into sleep and he woke up. The entire waker's world, entire world of ours, what we call as our world, is centered around waking state consciousness, because we take waking state consciousness as reference and talk about other states. The waking state personality I consider as real, and that person is having a dream state, deep sleep state, and coming back. So the world view is centered around the waking state person. Then the Upanishads start teaching the waking state person, I am Atma Brahma, my inner self is Brahman. So Brahman means infinite, Brahat, infinite. For a waking state person, this is not acceptable. I cannot accept that I am infinite. How can I be infinite? I am limited. That's his worldview. Waking state person feels he is limited by body, limited by mind, limited by time, limited by space, limited by karma. So waking state person lives in a sense of limitation. So Mandukya Upanishads wants to wake him up. So the Mandukya Rishi says, I am Atma Brahma, myself is Brahman. He touches his chest and says, myself is Brahman. Now, the touching of the chest, myself is Brahman, means what? He is pointing to the individual entity called me. He is not pointing out to something else. He is pointing to me, yourself. The self is Brahman. It is not easy to understand for us to understand. So then Mandukya Upanishad says, the self is Brahman in deep sleep. Deep sleep, whatever self you are experiencing, that is called Pratyagatma. Pratyagatma is infinite. So that you are Brahman in deep sleep. Pratyagatma is infinite. So for whom the teaching is given, always the teaching is given to waking state person. So now, for the waking state person to accept that I am Brahman in deep sleep is much easier. Why? Deep sleep is a state of bliss, Ananda. So I had a very good sleep. I was blissfully slept. I had a blissful sleep. So Ananda is there. In deep sleep, I was not aware of anything. There was nothing there. I was not aware of anything, which means I was aware of nothing. And I exist in deep sleep. That's why I'm able to claim that I had a good sleep. So I existed is Kasat. I am aware is Kalchit. I am blissful is called Ananda. Satchidananda Rupa, I am in deep sleep is easier to accept. And also in deep sleep, there's no duality. There's no body, there's no mind, there's no world. From that perspective, the deep sleep, I am Brahman, is easier to understand. Compared to, I am Brahman in the waking state. I am Brahman in the waking state is not acceptable to me. It's not easy. So now, the deep sleep, what you are, is called Pratyagatma. Pratyagatma means innermost self. Still, we are referring to innermost self. We are referring to individual identity because I'm touching my chest and saying I'm Pratyeka, I'm self, innermost self. So now, that innermost self, when you wake up, the body and the mind appears. It identifies with the body and the mind, and it feels a limitation. Now, the entire teaching is given to this entity which is identifying with the body and mind. The Pratyekatma, with the body-mind superimposition, feels he is a knower, doer, and enjoyer. The teaching has to be given to remove the ignorance, to point out to Pratyekatma, the body, mind, and intellect is a superimposition on you. Then also the teaching is to be given, whatever you see, the universe is nothing but Brahman only, is nothing but yourself only. I am Atma, Brahma. The teaching has to be given. So, at the first level, the deep sleep state of the self is equated to Brahman. But the ignorance has to be removed in the waking state. In the waking state, I feel limited. That's why Mandukya Upanishad says, whatever you see, whatever you experience, Yadbhutam Echa Bhavyat. The definition of Brahman is given as whatever you see, whatever you experience is Brahman. The world is Brahman. So how to equate these two? My innermost self, Pratyekatma, and Brahman. This is the challenge. Okay. So now, the teaching proceeds. Teaching proceeds to make the waker to understand. My dear waker, did you have a dream and did you go to sleep? The waker will say, very well, yes, I only had a good dream. I only had a good sleep. So there is a fallacy here. The waker personality does not go to dream. The dream personality doesn't go to deep sleep. There are three different states, the different independent states, not depend on each other. The waker doesn't go to dream because waker personality disappears. The waker world disappears. Dreamer personality disappears, dream world disappears in deep sleep. So waker is made to understand. It is not you who has gone to dream state. It's not who you have gone to deep sleep state. Then who has gone to dream state? Who has gone to deep sleep state? Nobody has gone to dream state or deep sleep state. Sorry, my mic is covered. Who has gone to dream state? Who has gone to dream state or deep sleep state? The waker is not in dream state, in deep sleep state. So then there must be states. That somebody who is there in all the Atma or Sakshi, the witness, right? So Pratyekatma or Sakshi is there in all the three states. So waker understands it's not I who have gone to dream state, it's not I who have gone to deep sleep state, it is the Pratyekatma who is there in all the states, because there's a and say pairing in Pratyekatma. Correct? So waker's ignorance we are trying to remove. Now, what is there constant in all the three states is waker, dreamer, and deep sleep. Constantly, there is a background, Pratyekatma is there. Innermost self is the Sakshi, the witness. Now these states are appearing and disappearing. When the Sakshi or witness identifies with the waking state, it becomes I am limited Jiva. Dream state, it identifies the dream body and says become Jiva. In deep sleep, there's no body, no mind, no world. It's pure awareness. Right? From that perspective, the waker is made to understand he is a temporary entity, appearing and disappearing. And what appears and disappears is not really there. What appears and disappears is not really there. So what is not appearing and disappearing, and which is there in the background all the time, Sakshi is always there. So waker has to understand that my, what I call as myself, body and mind, is appearance. It's mithya. Right? Then dream state is also mithya. Waking state is also mithya. Dream state is mithya. Deep sleep, there's nothing to appear and disappear. So deep sleep is closer to reality compared to my waking state and dream state in that sense. Because there's nothing there other than awareness and sleep. This is the understanding waker has to get. So then another understanding which waker has to get is the waker thinks that I am waking up in a world which is there. In reality, the waking world is appearing in the waking state. The world is appearing in the consciousness. It's not that I woke up in the world. The world woke up with me in the waking state. The body and the world appear in the waking state. And it's confined to waking state. In the dream state, the dream world is appearing. Waking world is gone. In deep sleep, there's no world. So what the world appears and world disappears, body appears and body disappears in the waking state and dream state, they're not real because they are appearances. They have a limited window. What is limited window is not real. Then what is real is Pratyekatma is only as real. The innermost self only alone is real. So then what appears is not real. Waking in dream state, world and the body. Dream state, world and the body is not real. Then in deep sleep, nothing is appearing. So deep sleep is closer to reality. In fact, deep sleep is the reality. Because there's nothing else. Advaita. But the waker had an understanding that my waking world is real. Deep sleep is a state of darkness. But unless he finds that deep sleep is the state of reality. So to give understanding to the waker is told the deep sleep is Turiya. Deep sleep is Turiya. Now, please understand, for whom it's being told, the person who waker has no ignorance, has not gone. For him, Turiya, you have to make him understand Turiya. Deep sleep is Turiya. Because in Turiya, there is no other. No body, no mind, and no world. And Turiya is non-dual. Deep sleep seems to be the non-dual state, but waker thinks that deep sleep is a state of ignorance. So deep sleep is easier to understand, it's closer to Turiya for the waker. But when waker understands the waking state and dream state are not real, then what is there is only deep sleep. What is there is Pratyekatma, the waking state, which is actually nothing else is there. Other than the Pratyekatma, everything else is mithya, unreal. In that sense, Pratyekatma alone is there. So waking world, waking body is unreal. Dream world, dream body is unreal. Okay? It appears and disappears. When it disappears, the deep sleep is there. That means deep sleep seems to be a or common background state, not just one state. Not just a state. So the concept of the waker, the deep sleep is a state, is false. Deep sleep is not a state. Deep sleep is the reality. Right? Because everything else is unreal. Deep sleep is Turiya in that sense. But before that, since the waker has a concept that I'm going to 3 states, has to be told there's something beyond 3 states that's called Turiya. The beyond concept is brought to make him understand something He is missing. The deep sleep is Turiya in that sense. Because everything else is Mithya. Now, the entire universe is in deep sleep in that sense. So now in waking state also, thoughts are coming and disappearing. Okay? Thoughts are appearing, disappearing. But from where? From no thought, it's appearing. There's a gap between the thoughts. What is there in the background is always deep sleep. So in the waking state, the background is deep sleep. Dream state, background is deep sleep. Deep sleep, in deep sleep also, background is deep sleep. Deep sleep is also deep sleep. So the waker is told the deep sleep is Turiya. Deep sleep is the only state which is real, and other states are unreal. So now, how did we start? We started with saying, my dear waker, you are thinking that you are going through waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. In reality, there's only deep sleep state, and that deep sleep state is Turiya, because there's nothing else. Right? So that is Brahman. That's why I am Atma, Brahma is told. So now the question comes: if deep sleep is Turiya, you should have told me in the beginning itself. Why are you bringing concept waking state, dream state, deep sleep? Then there is something called Turiya, right? Why waking state, dream state, deep sleep is brought in the first place? Because that's our understanding of life. That's how we understand life. I am going through waking state, dream state, deep sleep. Only on further analysis we find that the waking and dream are unreal, appearing, disappearing. Deep sleep seems to be the only reality. So then we understand the deep sleep is the reality. So then we understand even waking state is also reality, dream also is reality. Waking state is also Turiya, dream also is Turiya, and deep sleep also is Turiya. Because in waking state, between deep sleep and waking state, his thoughts are coming and going. Thoughts appear and disappear. Dream thoughts appear and disappear. And where do the thoughts appear and disappear? In the background of thoughtless state. The background, between the two thoughts, there is a gap. Between sleep and waking, there is a gap. In that gap, background is always thoughtless state, which is sleep. Right? So the waker is told that the background state is deep sleep. Deep sleep is Turiya. Now, why Turiya beyond waking and dreaming and deep sleep is brought? Because he has to be pointed out something more than what you are experiencing day-to-day life. Then we understand deep sleep is Turiya. There's no other state called Turiya. Deep sleep is the Turiya, and that's the background state. Waking and dreaming are unreal, Mithya. Then what is there is Turiya all the time. There's no state in Turiya. Whatever appears is not unreal. That is not a state. So Turiya is not a state. Turiya is my nature. So then if you understand Turiya is my nature, Turiya is my real nature, then I have never gone out of my state. I can never go out of my Turiya state. Then I am called Turiyatita. I am fully established in Turiya.
Turiyatita is not beyond Turiya.
So Turiyatita doesn't mean beyond Turiya. Turiyatita means the concept of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep is gone now. They are Mithya. you have gone beyond the concepts of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. So because they are unreal. Now deep sleep also is taken in that. Waking, Turiya, waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Because earlier your concept of deep sleep is a state of ignorance. You have dropped that concept also. You have gone the drop with the concept of dream also real. You have drawn the concept of waking also is real. Then what you are is called Turiyatita.
Pratyekatma is Turiyatita.
Pratyekatma is Turiyatita. Pratyekatma, when you realize the Pratyekatma is appearing as the world, self and the world are one, then Pratyekatma is called Turiyatma. And Turiyatma is also a concept because with waking state, dream state, deep sleep, there's three references. Once you understand waking state, dream state is unreal, deep sleep alone is the reality, then deep sleep itself is Turiya, and I am always in deep sleep, then I am established in something beyond waking, dreaming, and deep sleep because I have never gone out of my state. Turiya is the only reality. Such a person who has realized that is called Turiyatma. Now, Turiyatma is not a state. Turiyatma is your reality. At present, you are Turiyatma, Turiyatita. But because we are considering waking and dreaming and deep sleep as real, we appear to be in unreal states. The reality is only one. that I can't call as Turiya also, because to call something as Turiya, it should be beyond waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. So when waking, dreaming, deep sleep itself is unreal, mithya, then there's no point in calling something as beyond. That means you have gone beyond the concepts of waking and dreaming in deep sleep. That's a person called Turiya.
So, when he's in Turiya, his consciousness is actually nirvana.
Yeah, Turiya. So the question here, I'll answer the question some in Zoom, then I'll come back to your question. So what is it? So there is no difference between deep sleep and Turiya. Correct? So the first question is, there's no difference between deep sleep and Turiya. Here, for whom the question is, there's no difference between deep sleep and Turiya. The very word Turiya means beyond three, waking, dreaming, deep sleep. For a Adnani, sleep is said as Turiya. For Adnani, right? Because now Turiya concept is brought, and sleep is also told as Turiya. For Adnani, that now Turiya is there, sleep is there. Okay? So now, for ignorant person point of view, sleep is Turiya. So here I have to bring the clarity, right? We are always speaking from ignorant person point of view. Water appears as wave, water appears as bubble, water appears as foam. But water is not wave, water is not foam, water is not bubble. But wave is water, foam is water, bubble is water. In that sense, sleep is Turiya from an ignorant person point of view. It's an explanation, method of explanation. It's a way of teaching. Sleep is Turiya, just like wave is water, bubble is water. But water is not bubble. Then you can't say Turiya is sleep. Turiya sleep is wrong. Right? Because for you who are in ignorance, Turiya is still important understanding. You cannot say Turiya is sleep. But sleep is Turiya, you can say. Other way. Right? Until you transcend, understand entire thing, you cannot say Turiya and Turiya is sleep. But sleep is Turiya, you can say. Okay. But after understanding the totality, then sleep and Turiya are one. Is that clear? Okay. The next question is, when a thought comes up, is that not going out from the Turiya and coming back? See, this concept of Turiya is also a concept. Because your waking state, dream state, deep sleep is a reality. That's a Turiya is also concept. Everything we are speaking concept only. Because your concept of waking state is real, dream state is deep sleep state is Turiya is concept is brought in. So now the question is, when a thought comes up and going out from the Turiya and coming back, a thought is coming up, is it appearing from Turiya or not? Now, for whom you are asking the question? For a person, ignorant person who doesn't know, okay, doesn't even know Turiya, waking state, dream state, deep sleep states are there. My dear waker, between your thoughts, there's a gap. In that gap, what is there? No thought. No thought is deep sleep. For him, Turiya, he doesn't understand. For him, you have to tell the deep sleep state where thoughts will appear and disappear. That's why there's a gap in it. For him, that's the explanation. Right? From deep sleep, thoughts appear and disappear. Now, deep sleep is state of Turiya is next level of explanation. And there's nothing called deep sleep, nothing called waking state, not even dream state is next level of explanation. So now, whenever you say something, for whom, at what level of understanding we are trying to say, should be clear. Is that clear to the next question? So then next code, from Turiya, thoughts rise and fall. Every time a thought rises, it is that not rising from Turiya and falling back into Turiya again. How can you stay in Turiya all the time then? What happens when thoughts rise in Turiya? How can you stay in Turiya all the time? So the question is, how can you stay in Turiya? So tell me how you are not in Turiya. So the question itself is invalid. How can we not be in Turiya anytime? Right? How can there be not in Turiya? Okay. So the question is like asking, movie is appearing in the screen, okay, movie disappears. Is screen required all the time? Without screen, nothing, movie will not appear. Turiya is in that sense background all the time. Now the background is for whom? Background is a person from the person point of view who is in the foreground. Who is in the movie, we say background is movie, screen. But without screen, this guy cannot exist. The movie cannot exist. So screen is required all the time. Your existence, your consciousness, your awareness is required all the time in the background. It's always there. Right? So that's why you are always there in Turiya. And again, the language of Turiya I am using with respect to waking state, dream state, deep sleep. In fact, you are not even in Turiya. You are Turiya Theta all the time. Right? So then the thoughts, how can I be in Turiya? Okay, let me understand what is Turiya. Are you existing, my dear? Do you exist? Can you think of you're not existing? Can you think you're not existing at any point of time? I exist. So I exist because Sat. Already you're Sat. Okay, then are you aware? Yes, I am aware. Can you say I am aware, but I'm not existing? You cannot say. Existence and awareness is coming together. Sat and Chit is my nature, is anytime. And Ananda is infinity. So what I'm missing in the waking state is Ananda. But Sat and Chit is already background. The Sat and Chit is nothing but Turiya, pointing to Turiya. Only thing which I'm missing Ananda because of continuous thoughts rising and falling. That's also because of my wrong understanding that I am the body, mind, and intellect. Once you clarify, you already understand that Sat, Chit, Ananda is your nature all the time. It's like a background. In that, thoughts rise and fall. So does that answer question? Earlier question? So we have to understand water alone appears as wave, bubble, and foam. Appearance will change, but water, nothing happens to that. Turiya alone appears as waking state, dream state, deep sleep state. What appears is unreal. What is there, which never changes, is the reality. That is called Sadvastu. Existence, pure existence. Apparent existence keeps changing. Right? And it's not real. What is appears and disappears is not real. Then what is reality is always there. So any more questions on Zoom? Anybody else have a question on Zoom? Okay, now comes to your question. What is the nirvana?
So for a Gnani, nirvana is the state in which Nirvikalpa is also the same thing. So
No.
Essentially, the
No.
thought that is not there or there, the background is always nirvana.
So you're asked, the question is related to nirvana.